The painful truth about African middlemen and complicity in the slave trade. What they never taught us in school. They never told us this part in school. They taught us that Africa was only a victim. But they never told us that some of our own hands also played a part in our suffering. Yes, this one is painful, but it is the truth we must face as a people. Because a wound you refuse to clean will never heal. When we talk about slavery in Africa, we often imagine white men coming with chains, capturing innocent people, and taking them away. But the full story is deeper and sadder. Before the Europeans came in large numbers, Africa already had systems of slavery. Mostly prisoners of war, criminals or debtors were kept as servants. But when foreign traders arrived with guns, alcohol, and colorful cloth, the game changed completely. And some of our own leaders, kings, chiefs, and rich merchants began to see a dangerous opportunity. They started selling people, not just enemies, but sometimes even their own brothers, in exchange for power and foreign goods. In coastal kingdoms from West Africa to Central Africa, deals were made. European and Arab traders built forts along the coast: Elmina, Ouidah, Boni, Calabar, Luanda. And African middlemen acted as the bridge between the villages inland and the ships waiting at the shore. Some African kings grew rich from this human trade. They collected guns to fight their neighbors, rum and gin for pleasure, and cloth to show power. Each human being became a product. Each child taken was a price paid for greed and fear. There were African raiders who went from village to village, burning, capturing, and selling their own people to foreign merchants. There were chiefs who exchanged hundreds of souls for just a few barrels of gunpowder. There were merchants who became rich through human tears. But not all Africans joined in this evil. Some resisted. Some hid their people deep in the forests. Some fought the invaders with spears and courage until the last breath. They refused to sell their brothers for any price. History hides the names of the brave, but they were there. Warriors like Queen Zinga of Ndongo, who fought against the Portuguese. Kings like King Tegbesu of Dahomey, who later realized the pain that trade was causing. Communities that refused to cooperate, who fled into mountains rather than sell one another. Those were the true Africans. Those were the ones who saw beyond greed, who understood that no amount of gold can buy back your bloodline. Foreign powers were clever. They knew that to conquer Africa, they did not need to fight every tribe. They only needed to divide us. They used our rivalries, our tribal wars, our hunger for power, and turned them into a weapon. When one tribe defeated another, the prisoners were sold. When brothers fought for thrones, the losers were sold. When famine came, people sold others to survive. And so slowly, Africa's strength became her weakness. Our unity broke, and the chains grew tighter. This truth hurts because it reminds us that the loss of Africa was not only from outside, it also came from within. But we must face it, not to shame our ancestors, but to learn from them. Many of them did not know what the future held. They did not know that those they sold would never return. They did not know that the trade would destroy kingdoms, families, and generations. Some kings later regretted it. Some realized too late that the same traders they trusted were also enslaving their own children. So, what is the lesson for us today as Africans? It is simple but powerful. When we betray one another, we destroy ourselves. The same spirit that made our ancestors sell each other for gunpowder is the same spirit that makes Africans today cheat each other, hate each other, fight each other for power and money. If we keep selling ourselves in politics, in business, in greed, we will never be truly free. We must learn to protect each other, not sell each other, because a people divided will always be conquered. My brothers and sisters, this story is not to make us hate our ancestors. It is to make us wiser than they were. It is to remind us that freedom is not just about breaking chains. It is about breaking habits that keep us enslaved in our minds. We can only rise as a continent when we love each other more than we love money. When we choose unity over rivalry. When we say never again, not just to slavery, but to the betrayal that made slavery possible. Now you know a truth they never taught us in school. They will never teach you this truth anywhere else because it gives power back to Africa. So what does this mean for us Africans today? It means we must stop being our own middlemen of destruction. It means we must unite, educate ourselves, and remember that Africa's healing begins when we face our own truth. Tell me in the comments, what part of this truth shocked you the most? And what do you want me to uncover next in our Real African Tales series? Let's talk. Let's heal. Let's rise together as Africans.